Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to our podcast. This video is actually our group project for subject cross-cultural management. For today's episode, we are going to discuss communication and negotiation in international business, which is a very important topic when dealing with different countries and cultures. Before we go further, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves first, so you know who's speaking today. Hi, my name is Hakim, and I'll be the host for the podcast.
Hi everyone, my name is Izam. For this podcast, I'll be sharing some point about the negotiation and business culture in the United States.
Hello everyone, I'm Idit. I will be discussing part related to the negotiation process and how American usually handle business discussion.
Hi everyone, I am Adit and today I am going to share about the communication styles and bargaining behavior in the United States.
My name is David. I will be focusing more on decision making and conflict management in American business culture. Okay, so for this project, our group chose the United States of America as our focus country. We chose US because this country plays a very big role in international business and global trade. Many multinational companies come from the US, and their influence can be seen all around the world. Besides that, their working culture is quite different compared to many other countries, especially here in our country, in Malaysia. Because of these differences, misunderstandings can easily happen if we don't understand their communication and negotiation style properly. Alright, let's talk a bit about why we chose the United States. Out of many countries, we decided to focus on the US because it plays a big role in international business today. So Izam, maybe you can start and share your thoughts.
Sure, one of the main reasons that many global companies come from the US like Apple, Google and Microsoft. So in the future, there's a high chance that we will work with American companies, whether directly or indirectly. That's why understanding how the communication and negotiation style is very important to us.
Also, the US culture is very different compared to ASEAN culture like ours. They are more direct when they talk. So they more often mention your opinion and very focused on time. So sometimes what they consider normal might feel so straightforward for us.
Yes, if we don't understand their culture properly, during business discussion, it will be misunderstanding. So, for example, the way of their speaking might be seen as good, but it is normal for them. Exactly. That's why understanding US business culture is actually very important, especially in international business. By learning their communication and negotiation style, we can work better with them and avoid unnecessary problems. Okay, now let's move on negotiation in the United States. This part is important because negotiation style in the US is quite different compared to some other countries. Okay.
In American business, negotiation are usually well planned from the start. One meeting already have a clear agenda and specific goals that need to be discussed.
They have to know what the meeting is about and what decision they need to make at the end. So they usually don't like meetings that are too general or unclear.
They also really care about time, so discussion are usually straight to the point and focus on the result.
Yeah, they don't really like meetings that drag on without clear outcomes. If a meeting takes too long, it might be seen as inefficient.
Yeah, I could tell that preparation is so very important in America. Because if you're not serious or you're not prepared well, they might think that you are not serious in your negotiation.
Okay, so the key themes in US negotiation are simple: be prepared, be confident, and respect time. Okay, next, let's talk about bargaining behavior in the United States. This part is also important because bargaining style can really affect how deals turn out.
Yeah, Americans usually bargain in a very open and direct way. So they clearly say what they want and what they expect from the team. So you don't really need to guess their real intention.
And if they agree with an offer, they will say yes directly. If they don't agree, they also tell you clearly instead of avoiding the topic. And this makes the discussion more to straightforward.
They don't really expect you to guess what they are thinking. Maybe everything is usually said openly during the discussion. So maybe this help both sides understand each other better.
Even though they are direct, they still want a fair deal for both sides. They usually aim for a win-win situation, so they not just thinking about their own benefit. Okay, so being honest, clear and realistic really helps when dealing with Americans. When both sides are open, it's easier to reach an agreement that everyone is happy. Now let's talk about decision making in United States. This part is interesting because the way decisions are made can really affect how fast a year happens.
In the US, managers usually can make decisions on their own. So they are often trusted to handle responsibilities for approval for many people. So this shows that trust is very important in their working culture.
They don't always need approval from higher management, especially for their daily business decision. So small or relative decision can be made quickly without delay.
This shows how individual-focused American culture is. People are trusted to make decisions based on their role and position in the company.
Because of that, decisions are usually made faster compared to other cultures. There is less waiting time and fewer level of approval.
Sometimes the person we are negotiating with can decide everything on the spot, right? So it's important to be prepared because the decision might be made immediately. Okay, let's move on to communication style in the United States. This part is also important because communication style can really affect how people understand each other in business.
So, Americans communicate in a very direct way, which is openly, and they usually say what they think clearly without trying to be indirect or vague.
They also usually say exactly what they mean without using hints, so they don't expect others to read between the lines.
This type of communication is called low context communication. The message is usually clear, straightforward, and easy to understand.
Context is also important in American culture business. It shows confidence and honesty. Avoiding eye contact might be seen as a lack of confidence. So, if something is unclear, it's better to ask question or explain it directly instead of assuming, right?
Yes.
This helps avoid misunderstandings and makes communication smoother. Now let's look at how conflicts are handled in American workplaces. This part is important because conflict is something that can happen in any working environment.
When problem happen, Americans usually prefer to talk about them openly. So they don't really like to keep issues to themselves or avoid the problem.
They focus more on the solving problem rather than ignoring the issue. So the main goal is to fix the issue and move forward.
Fact and logic are usually more important than emotion during a conflict discussion. They prefer to discuss what went wrong and how to improve.
I agree with Iza. Matter of fact that this approach helps solve issues faster and keeps the workplace professional. So, it also helps avoid repeated problems in the future.
Okay, so staying silent or avoiding conflict might not work well in US workplace, right?
Yes.
Open discussion is usually the better way to handle problems.
Yes. Exactly.
Alright, Alright, to wrap things up, let's summarize what we have learned today from our discussion. Throughout the podcast, we have talked about how communication and negotiation work in American business culture.
Overall, American business culture really values being clear, direct, and confident. People are encouraged to speak up and share their ideas openly.
Negotiation in the US are usually well structured and focuses on achieving results. Meeting are planned and discussion are straight to the point.
So to add this, the decision making is quite fast because authority is given to individuals. So managers are trusted to make their decision based on their own role.
And when it comes to conflict or issues and handled openly with a focus on finding solutions. The goal is to solve the problem, and the main goal is not to create more tension in the future.
Okay, so overall, understanding these cultural differences can really help us in international business situations. It helps us communicate better, avoid misunderstandings, and build better working relationships. That's all from us, Group 6. Thank you so much for watching and listening to our podcast. Bye-bye.